Good day, students. I'm happy to have you once again in a series of lessons in commerce as a subject. I'm good to go with you. So believing you have your materials with you, please do that now so you can jot down some reasonable examples or references that can help you understand better. And I'm sure that you've been doing that ever since. So please take down notes as much as possible and ensure that you check yourself up through the ExamGuide app to learn, to see how much you've learned, how much you've improved yourself. So please do that regularly so that at the end of it all, you have a high performance rate in all your tests and exams. God bless you. So let's go. Today we're looking at industrial combination as a topic under commerce. Okay. So what's an industrial combination? Let's look at the content of what we need to do. All right, today we will define industrial combination and state the reasons for industrial combination, why they want to combine, all right, or merge. Then describe the forms of industrial combination. These are the three areas we're going to look into. Of course, there will be some sub areas under them. Okay, so let's go through and see. So what does it mean? Industrial combination or integration is the coming together of two or more firms in order to form one large economically viable firm. The coming together of two or more firms so as to form one large economically viable or profitable firm. There are various reasons why that should happen. Right? Business people have a way of making sure that they make good returns for their risks, all right, taking, of course, that's what it's called. Now, why would they want to merge or combine? Some will want to combine because they see an opportunity to enjoy economies of scale, that is, increase output and lower per unit cost, all right? That's why they may want to merge. Now, firms can reduce costs by increasing production efficiency. By this, they can actually increase their production size by merging with two or more other companies. Okay. So by so doing, they can buy materials and borrow materials at a lower price or reduce cost on raw materials by forming an alliance with other companies. So number two is that you want to have market power, or they want to have competitive edge so as to attain favorable price in their output. By merging, it reduces competition and strengthens market dominance. For some firms, but they do that because that's what their aim is. They want to reduce competition and strengthen their dominance in the market. It helps in setting favorable price and controlling supply of the market. So some people like OPEC has this as a very good advantage because they are merged and they have one big market front, all right, so that they can manage supply and control price. So some other will also merge because we don't want to have risk reduction. They want to fight economic recession. Some see that if they don't merge, they will die. They will go out of business. All right. So because of that, they have to look for others who have similar issues with them to come together to form a stronger force. So this means that by diversification across industries, it has to minimize financial risk. So by sharing resources, these companies help themselves to survive economic downturn. So some will actually want to evade the effect of recession. That's why they want to join the other businesses to continue doing business. So in so doing, they want to reduce the risk of failure in business. So they want to join because of that. Then the next one is that they also want to meet statutory capital requirements, especially for the banking sector. Because one of the requirements is that you must have, I think, 250 billion naira in assets or reserve fund for you to be able to have a banking institution established. So an individual who doesn't have this amount of money may want to what? They want to merge with other institutions that can help them raise this amount of money before they can be given license to operate as a bank. So yes, you need to meet statutory requirements. That is why one or two persons or firms can merge or combine, all right, to have the advantage of operating the business. Again, it could be for technological advancement. Some companies are very good technologically, while others may not have that privilege. So they may want to combine in the same line of business, of course, so that they can increase their technological advancement or proficiency. So companies pool resources together to invest in research and innovation, and then the faster adoption of new technologies are also one of the reasons why they want to do that, to improve productivity. So they want to make sure that in any way they do it, they want to have advanced technology adoption. That is why they can align with the company that have the technical edge over them in that area, so that they can have a more advanced technological productivity outlay. So yes, that's one of the reasons they may want to align or combine with other companies. Then they also have improved management and exercise and management and experts. So they want to actually have those. There are some companies that have very, very efficient management system, right? While others of the same business or other business alike may be suffering from such expertise. So they may want to also align. They may have more capital base than the person that have more skills in management. So with this combination, you bring two extremes in capacity together. So by combining these skills or these assets-based preferences, professionally, they will enhance decision making, and as well, they will improve experts in operation. So they can lead to what? To better operational efficiency. So that's it. With this amalgamation or combination in place, a company can actually enjoy more business progress or profits. Okay, yes, that's one of the reasons they may want to combine. Then again, you have access to new markets. Some people or some firms may decide to merge with others in different geographical locations so that they can actually have access to those markets. You have firms that produce the same thing or even different market, but they have a synergy in their productivity. All right, this can actually help them to explore new markets outside the environment. You can see a firm in Lagos, merging with a firm in Port Harcourt or Abuja, something like that. They sell similar goods. That can actually help them to sell as a product, as a company. So that can help them to sell in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, and Lagos. In all these markets, that means it will help those companies in those remote areas to access larger market in the external environment. So that's the reason why they may want to also combine. So to access new markets. By expanding into different regions, boost customer reach, of course, and partnership makes international trade very much easier. So yes, when they partner in this area, they have access to international market or external markets outside their region of operation. So that's one of the reasons they may want to combine. Then you have financial strength and capital growth. Some want to increase their financial strength and capital growth by merging with bigger companies, all right, who are doing greater than them, but they might have a technical edge somehow over that big company, but they may not be profitable as much as they want to. So they may have to merge with other companies to increase their financial capacity. So that could be one of the reasons why they will have to merge. Okay, now, in all this said and unsaid, we have types of industrial combination. Now, they can do this combination in various ways. You may have it horizontally, you may have it vertically, you may have it as a cartel, you may have it as a holding company or price rings, you may have it as a merger or amalgamation, it might be a trust or a consortium. So these are the various types of what combination we're looking at. So they are all explained in the slides that follows. Let's see. What is a horizontal combination? It is a situation whereby companies who are at the same stage of production come together, that is left to right, front and back, coming together to form one new one, all right, or a larger productive front. That's what we call horizontal, at the same stage of production. Okay, it might be in different industrial sectors or whatever, but they merge because their production level is the same. So that's horizontal. So this occurs when business at the same stage of production merge to increase market share and reduce competition. This will help them to maximize profit and achieve economic of scales. Then you have, this also will help strengthen industrial control, improve their efficiency, and making operation more cost effective and competitive. So yes, these are the reasons why they will merge horizontally. Okay. Now, if they merge vertically, what does it mean? It means firms at different levels of production, all right, coming together to form a big outlay or a productive outlay. This happens when firms or companies at different stages of production unite to streamline process and lower costs by ensuring smoother supply chain management. That is, those are the primary level of production, that is, rearing of animals that can provide milk and provide meat, all right, can merge with meat and meat processing company at the middle level of production, who also can actually merge again with retailers and distributors of meat and milk, right? These are the levels of what? Vertical combination. So that's an example of what it looks like. So this integration enhances quality control and reduces dependency on external suppliers, thereby improving overall business stability. So yes, that's why they want to merge. Okay. Trust is another form of combination. A trust is a legal arrangement where one party, the trustee, holds and manages assets for benefit of another company or party who is the beneficiary by ensuring proper distribution of protection. Now, this is commonly used for wealth management, estate planning, and financial security. Now, it means that if I am proficient in my business activity, someone else sees me as a trustworthy personnel, can hand over their business to me, all right? And I would manage it and pay them what I would call royalties. I make profit and pay them a portion of the profit based on agreed terms. The business is managed under my control, okay? But they own the business, I don't own the business, I don't have title of ownership, but I can manage it and pay them returns based on agreed terms, okay? That's what a trust is. It can have 1, 2, 3, 4 other businesses under my control and still run my own business as well, all right? That's what. So trust help to avoid legal complication, minimize taxes, and safeguard assets for future operation or generation. Or it can be charitable purposes as well. They provide structured control over wealth, ensuring it is managed according to specific terms set by the creator of the trust. Okay? Yes. Cartel is another form of combination we have in business environment. This is a voluntary association of firms engaged in the production of same products. The firms coming together will retain their individual identity and independent. Example of them is an OPEC. So in this case, all the companies that form a cartel will not change their name, will not change their identity. They will retain it. They also retain their independence. They can operate on their own, but they will sell and supply under one umbrella, under one rule of production. That's what they're saying here. So OPEC is an example of such an existence. That is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, which is OPEC. They sell crude oil to the world, right? So they determine output and price. Okay, it's a form of monopoly, but of course a combination. So this is what they enjoy. They make sure that the price is uniform across the globe, and they enjoy steady supply because they use quota to streamline productivity or output in general. So yes, a cartel is a group of businesses that secretly agree to fix prices or limit competition, allowing them to control the market by increasing what? Profit. They manipulate supply, right, to create artificial shortages and influence demand, making industries less competitive and innovative, lower or slower in nature. So yes, this is what they can do. They want to stifle the market and have a grip on what happens in the market, and that's what they are willing to do. So that cartel is another form of combination that involves companies that produce similar products, all right? So they can actually control the market activities. The next combination I have is what we call price rings. Price rings. What are they? These are a group of businesses that secretly collaborate to set prices artificially high. Their intention is to make sure that the prices are sold at a higher rate and they make good profit from it. By so doing, they limit competition, they maximize their profit, and this practice harms consumers by restricting fair pricing and reducing market choices. In this case, it often leads to legal penalties that the governments of countries that have this kind of activity always stand up against it and, go about it in the legal way. So price rings manipulate supply and demand. They create inflated costs that benefit the participating firm while disadvantaging buyers. Governments and regulatory authorities actually do actively oppose this price to ensure market fairness. So here's, of course, their aim is to what? Is to influence price, to increase it to sell at a higher rate to whatever they sell, to make sure that the prices are increased to their favor, and that's all they want to achieve. All right. So, but they secretly do that. They don't make it open, but you can ensure that you can see that these people are selling at the same rate all over. Whenever you meet such product, you see that they're selling at the same price, but it's not official. They are just there to increase the price. What happens today in the PMS market, that is fuel, is similar to what we call a price ring. The NNPC no longer set price. Okay, what they do is the marketers decide to sell at a particular price independently. So they simply do that. They raise the price, and we all buy. What's happening today in Nigeria in the fuel industry, in the fuel market, is called a price ring. All right, it's no longer a thing of inflation. They raise the price on their own, and they sell at that price, and people will buy. In this case, they reduce competition, and they harm the customers or the consumers of the product at that price. Okay, the next one we have here is holding company. Holding company. A holding company is a business entity that owns and controls other companies through share ownership, but does not directly manage the company operations. Now, they can only have this control when they have acquired over 50% share ownership of the business. Any share ownership that is above 50% gives them a holding advantage, okay, controlling advantage over the business. So once they have 50.1, 0.2, 0.3, or anything above 50%, they have an overriding control over the business. Okay, so it helps to reduce financial risk for the holding company. It helps to streamline management and then optimize investment strategy while benefiting from subsidiary profits. So this is what holding companies enjoy. All right, many large operations who use holding companies to oversee multiple business units efficiently. Okay, in this case, when a business is able to hold over 50% shares of another business, they have have a holding control or overriding control of that business. Become a holding company. All right. The next one is amalgamation or merger. A merger occurs when two or more companies combine to form a single entity. In this case, those companies that come together will lose their identity, will lose their independence. Okay, they form a completely new establishment. Okay, where two or more companies combine to form a single entity, aiming to expand operation, increase efficiency, and enhance financial strength. We call it a merger. This process helps businesses to grow, eliminate competition, and achieve economies of scale. It will help them to increase operation, reduce per unit cost, and make more profit. So mergers can be horizontal, vertical, or conglomerates, depending on whether companies are in the same industry, different production stage, or unrelated sectors. It doesn't matter. They can actually merge as far as it's profitable for them to do so. All right, they can merge. All right. So we have a consortium here. A consortium is a temporary alliance. Temporary what? Alliance of businesses, not permanent. All right. To collaborate to achieve a shared goal while maintaining individual ownership and independence. They don't change anything about their existence. They just come together to achieve a particular goal. And once they are done, they separate again. It's temporary. So consortiums are commonly found by industries like in financial sector, construction sector, research and institutes, where joint efforts reduce risk and enhance efficiency. Unlike mergers, consortium members remain separate entities while benefiting from collective advantage. So they don't change their identity, they don't change their independence, right? They still maintain who they are, but they can collaborate to achieve their desired goals. All right. Thank you very much. I'm sure that as it stands now, you have understood, as you followed me through, you have understood industrial combination. And so that is very important, and that's what I've achieved with you. You have learned them individually and extensively too. So let's check up some questions to enhance our studies, okay? Number one, the coming together of two or more firms at different stages of production is called what? is called vertical merger, because different stage, okay? When firms producing similar commodities join together, that is called similar commodities join together. That's called a cartel. Okay, a cartel. All right. Then, which of the following is true of a merger? Original names of companies are retained. Expansion is restricted. All debts are written off. The company formed acquire a new name. This is your answer. Okay. A group of companies formed to carry out an activity that's beyond the ability of any individual is called a consortium. It's a temporary arrangement. Once they finish their assignment, they separate back. Okay? The amalgamation of firms engaged in cotton processing and the manufacturing of textile is what? It's the vertical integration. Cotton is primary, textile is secondary. Okay, that's vertical integration. Okay. Where two or more companies agree to work on a project too large for one of them is called a consortium. Temporary arrangement. Company which acquires more than 50% voting shares of another company is called what? It's a holding company. All right? Yes, that's what we discussed. When a company buys up firms supplying it with raw materials, this is example of what? It's an example of vertical integration. Oh, sorry, backward integration. Okay, this is backward or forward. It's backward integration. An offer by one company to buy up all or greater proportion of another company's share is known as a takeover bid. All right, takeover. So please do yourself a favor. This is where we're going to end it for today. Please take time to study more of the questions using your exam guide. This is how far we can go. God bless you. See you next time. Until then, remain blessed.